Secret Vatican plot to force Pope Francis to resign. Traditionalists had doubts about Pope Francis's liberal opinions and modifications to the Latin Mass. Now there's a secret Vatican plot to force Pope Francis to resign. According to reports, Vatican conservatives are attempting to compel Pope Francis into resignation from the Catholic Church just a few days after the passing of his predecessor, Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, on December 31st. The campaign to remove the 86-year-old liberal-leaning pontiff got underway in earnest. Although Pope Francis previously stated he would resign if his health declined, it was thought unlikely to occur while Benedict XVI was still alive, to avoid an unprecedented situation of three popes residing at the Vatican, according to the Telegraph. The rumors intensify as a result of the Pope's Monday meeting with Archbishop Georg Ganswein, the late Pope Benedict XVI's long-standing secretary, and a prominent presence in his recent funeral. In his astounding account, Ganswein paints Francis in a severely unflattering light. Other than to confirm that the private audience did take place, the Vatican gave no information regarding its contents. The conservative faction is prepared to take action against the communist Pope Francis, that is. A cardinal reportedly warned in the Italian newspaper La Stampa. The cardinal was quoted as saying, "The secret plan will be formulated on various axes and phases, but it will have one objective, to place the pontificate under such stress that Francis will have to resign." The opponents of Francis know that right now they are in a minority, that they will need time to both win a consensus and to weaken him. Cardinal stated that the outcome of the campaign would depend on the progressive weakening of the Holy Father as well as doctrinal choices, which will create a great deal of discomfort which can be used against him. After the departure of the arch-conservative Benedict, Pope Francis, previously known as Cardinal Bergoglio, was elected Pope in 2013. With his critique of capitalism and open stance towards homosexuality, abortion, communion for remarried divorcees, and celibacy for priests, his appointment signaled a clear change in the Catholic Church. According to La Stampa reports, some of the Pope's detractors will be outspoken in their critique, whereas others will remain in the shadows. The faction opposed to Pope Francis is led by Cardinal Georg Ganswein, who served as Pope Benedict's personal secretary for 19 years and has earned the moniker the George Clooney of the Holy See due to his attractive looks. Following last week's release of his candid book, Nothing But the Truth, My Life Beside Pope Benedict XVI, there have been concerns voiced regarding what Francis will do with Ganswein now that his primary duty of caring for Benedict has concluded following Benedict's death. Some Vatican observers regard the book as the start of a new period of anti-Francis attacks from the conservative right, for whom Benedict remained a nostalgic point of reference in retirement. Benedict's death, as well as Ganswein's post-mortem disclosures, have shattered the illusion of a harmonious cohabitation between two popes. Ganswein's book uncovers the previously unknown facts of some of the biggest setbacks and bad blood that accumulated during Benedict's last 10 years as a retired pope following his 2013 retirement decision, the very first pontiff in 6 centuries to do so. In one of the most shocking passages, Ganswein claims he was shocked and speechless when Francis, in the wake of the scandal involving a book Benedict co-authored, practically fired him from his day job as the head of the papal household in 2020. Francis effectively ended Ganswein's role as the bridge between the pontificates when he instructed him to stop going to the office and focus solely on caring for Benedict. Ganswein published previously unreleased correspondence between the two popes and relayed their private conversations, revealing that Francis even turned down Benedict's efforts to reinstate him. Ganswein, who was deeply hurt, claims that Francis was caustic, irrational, and lacking in sincerity in his decision-making, and that Benedict even made fun of Francis when he was informed of the choice. It seems as if Pope Francis does not trust me anymore and is making you my chaperone, Ganswain quoted Benedict as saying. Additionally, Ganswain expressed his disappointment when that Francis had turned down his request to reside in the papal palace apartment previously used by his predecessor. Francis awarded the apartment to the Vatican's foreign minister instead after a longer than usual renovation process, forcing Ganswain to stay at the monastery that Benedict called home. The Pope's decision to restrict the traditional Latin Mass was denounced by Cardinal Ganswain in a statement to the German media, who claimed it had broken the heart of his predecessor. Ganswain also recounted in his autobiography how he struggled to establish a climate of trust with Pope Francis and how he was shocked and speechless when he lost his post in the papal household in 2020. Cardinals Raymond Burke, an American, and Gerard Ludwig Muller, a close supporter of Benedict XVI, are additional supporters of the traditionalist movement. 100,000 mourners, including King Philip of Belgium and Dowager Queen Sophia of Spain, assembled in St. Peter's Square January 4th for the late Pope's funeral. Francis, who appeared in a wheelchair and stood with the help of a stick, did not mention Benedict by name until the very last phrase of his sermon. He addressed Jesus as the church's bridegroom, saying, "Benedict, faithful friend of the bridegroom, may your joy be complete as you hear his voice now and forever." The Pope had previously warned that Germany might pose a threat to the unity of the Church. Signs of this have already appeared, as the Nordic bishops underlining their anxiety at the German process in an open letter in March. This is on Great Game India. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box